Welcome to Silent No More. I'm your host, Yitzi, and I'm really glad you're here. This podcast is about listening to the voices of survivors of child sex abuse with the goal of raising awareness, educating our communities, and challenging the silence that allows abuse to thrive. Whether you're a parent, educator, advocate, ally, or simply someone who wants to better understand the issue, this space is for you. Before we begin, please know that this episode includes sensitive content, including discussions of trauma and abuse. This podcast is intended for adult audiences, age 18 and older. Please take care while listening. So, Chanie, thanks so much for being
Thank
here.
you for having me.
So excited.
I'm very excited to speak with you and just have this awesome open conversation.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Chanie Janashvili. I am turning 26 in 2 weeks. I still feel like I'm 16 sometimes. I grew up in Brazil. I grew up in a very Hasidic family and environment, so I didn't really get the whole Brazilian experience. And with that said, I do speak 6 languages, 5.5. My 6th one is and I have a lot of worldly views. And my little world that I had growing up was very, I guess, shaky. And I didn't really know it was shaky at the time. I thought that was normal growing up, that everyone had challenges as big as mine. And yeah, it was tough. I grew up in a divorced home. I never really understood my parents divorced, what really happened until much later. I'm one of 4 siblings, and I only have one brother, and that one brother molested me from the age of 6 to 9. So that was
Wow.
really, that's basically part of my life. That's not my life story, but that's a big part of my life, and that definitely led me to the strength that I have today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's really cool that you're from Brazil. You must have really cool cultural experiences.
Yeah, I'm saying growing up there was pretty interesting. It was fun.
So
Yeah,
interesting. Fascinating.
yeah,
I didn't know there are Hasidim in Brazil.
yeah. I grew up half Chabad and half Satmar. It was a mixed marriage.
Oh, yeah, there are those people that are half Chabad and half Satmar.
That was us.
So you have
I
3
have 2
sisters.
sisters. I'm one of 4.
Oh, two
Yeah, my
sisters,
oldest
right.
sister, her name's Esty. I love her. A lot of people know her. She has Down syndrome, and she's the light of the world. She's amazing, and I miss her. And I wish I had more connection with her, but she lives with my mother, who I don't have a connection with. So that's that. And then my other sister, who I'm not going to share her name for her privacy, she's Hasidish, and she lives in Borough Park, and she's very happy. And we're close. Yeah.
So, in your own words, can you share a bit about your story and what led you to want to speak about this?
Sure. So for a long time, I was living, I guess, thinking that I was normal with all this trauma on my shoulders. Between my parents' divorce and moving countries, I moved from Brazil to America myself when I was 14, and that itself isn't a trauma. And my brother molesting me, and I didn't really understand that he was hurting me sexually and that was not normal until I was around 13. And that also shook my world. And I spoke up about it, and then I stopped speaking about it for like 10 years. And then when I met my husband, I spoke to him about it, and I started becoming more open about it. And that led me to realize how much of a lie I was living, and how much trauma I carry with me, and how much I live my life through my trauma lens and not through my authentic self. Whatever that means, because I'm still figuring that out, because you don't figure it out till the day you die. Everyone can improve always. I just really, really hope and pray that I can, by speaking up, help at least one person that is either going through it or is vulnerable and susceptible for them or their kids or their family and or friends to go through it. So yeah.
Yeah, I really admire that. Survivors don't really have a place to speak about this.
Yeah,
and it's important
I agree.
for us and to educate.
I agree. And I feel like it's less and less becoming a taboo. Like nowadays, people are more open to hearing about it. And meaning, here I am recording this podcast. And with that said, like it does make people uncomfortable still. Like, but mm, understandably, like why should something like that be comfortable to speak about? So yeah,
Totally. It's such an uncomfortable topic. And I do want to mention for us also, once we speak about it, there are repercussions. You
hundred
know, it's
percent,
not easy.
100%. And I've
So,
lost friendships. I've lost a lot of family that in hindsight, all those people don't serve me in my life. And I'm so much better without them. And if they choose to come back into my life, I will be 100% much more cautious when it comes to that. So, yeah.
I thought you were going to say, well, 100% accept them back. And I
Hell
was like, what?
no.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Good. I love that. We should be cautious, you know? They're probably the reason what happened in the first place.
Exactly.
Part of the reason.
Exactly. And I'm saying,
Right.
obviously, nobody can control my brother. His actions were his actions. And with that said, if he was taught better, if we were watched better as kids, if there was less trauma, or, I mean, my parents' divorce was inevitable. Like, I don't blame my parents for my brother's actions. I do blame my mother for not protecting us more, for not seeing the red flags. And, you know, it's funny because they say the shoemaker's kid doesn't have a shoe. My mom is a therapist. So, yeah. And I'm
Oh
not here to out her
no.
and I'm not here to talk bad on her. And if she watches this podcast,
Right.
I have no hate towards her profession. Like, if she really loves doing that
Right.
and if she really enjoys and if she can help someone through her trauma, great.
Right.
But
And maybe
us
she
as her
really is
kids,
capable of helping.
exactly, exactly. And us as her kids, she did not. Like, the
Exactly.
shoemaker can definitely make really nice shoes, but his kid still doesn't have shoes.
Exactly. Exactly. It's fascinating, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. Okay. So there's so much to unpack. Do you mind saying how the abuse started? I know he was your brother, so he already
yeah.
had your trust just by being in the family that you were in.
Correct. So he's 9 years older than me, which with that is like a big gap. He was in high school at the time. He was traveling for high school, so he wasn't living at home. So we didn't have this like close connection to begin with. And when he did come home, I just got so excited that my brother was home. Like, who doesn't want their sibling home? Like, he was the only man figure in my like in my life besides my grandfather, and he was the only person that I was like so excited to see. And like, in hindsight, I wish we could have that relationship. Like, if not for that, like, I would love to have a relationship with him. People like him. People say like, why are you not friends with him? He's normal, whatever normal means. And, at the end of the day, I really trusted that I was safe with him. And like, it started very innocently, like a hug, which turned into a massage, which turned into touch me here, touch me there. I'll touch you, you touch me. And yeah, I didn't realize. And it's going to be our little secret. And I don't even think he explicitly ever told me that it's going to be our secret. I just was like a unspoken understanding that it was going to be our secret. And, we had cleaning ladies growing up, and my cleaning lady saw it at the time, and she didn't say anything. And yeah, I remember her specifically seeing it and like yelling at my brother, and I didn't understand why she was yelling at my brother. And I was so little. I was 6 years old, 7 years old. I didn't understand anything. But at the same time, like, in hindsight, I'm so mad at her for not speaking up more. And I want to find her, but she's in Brazil. And it doesn't matter. I'm an adult now, and it really doesn't matter following up with her. And little me really wishes she took care of me like that. So yeah,
Yeah. I mean, little you deserved that.
100%. And here I'm healing little me right now. But I really feel like a part of me is healing, speaking about it so openly with you. So thank you.
No, you're welcome. I mean, my pleasure. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. I think a takeaway from what you just said that people have to understand that so many people are complicit in abuse. People don't realize, like, there are so many people around an abuser that have to be complicit for it to
A
happen
hundred
and thrive.
percent. Like, poor him. He was going through his parents' divorce. He was old enough. He saw it. And not even sexual abuse, any kind of abuse, like emotional abuse. Like, oh, they're going through their own stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't excuse you abusing the person. Like, you're going through your stuff. Take care of it before you hurt someone else. So, yeah.
There's never an
Yeah.
excuse for
Yeah.
abuse.
I agree.
Yeah. You mentioned some red flags that you wish your mother had seen. What were those red flags?
Um, I was the only, I guess in hindsight, I was talking to my therapist about this. In hindsight, it doesn't make a difference because it's my body. Like, that's how my metabolism works. But my whole family was bigger and I was the only skinny one. I always, food was like always restricted for me. Like, I always I never like ate when I was depressed. And I didn't know I was depressed. Again, I was 7, 8, 9 years old. I didn't know that that was depression and or anxiety in an 8 year old. And I started lying a lot and I started hiding a lot and I started just doing anything to feel safe. I would literally only relate to older kids. All my friends were and still are older. I think I have like 2, 3 friends my age now to this day. And just because I can't relate, like girls my age were playing Barbie and I was making sure my brother was not touching me in my vagina. I was making sure that my brother was not hurting me. And at the end of the day, like that's what led me to being different. And my mom didn't see it because she was busy getting married, divorced, and she's on her fourth husband right now. So
Wow. So you're saying that even though you didn't know what depression was
yeah,
or anxiety, the adults should have noticed.
100%. And especially if you're a therapist, and especially if you're claiming that you're helping other people. Like she was helping the whole community besides her daughters. And my other sisters also suffered in their own way and it's their story to tell, but everyone, like, the repercussions that happened from what happened were so immense looking back. Like they were so big and nobody did so yeah, it's just crazy.
Wow. Wow. You mentioned the repercussions. What was the impact it had on you as a child and as an adult, if you don't mind
Yeah,
sharing?
like I said, I was lying a lot. A lot of people still till this day, it's very embarrassing to me that I lied so much just for attention. And I'm very open about it now. I am every day thrive to live an authentic life. And I not thrive, I strive. My English is amazing. I strive to live an authentic life and I strive to make up for all those lies in whatever way I can. And I have this Instagram platform and one time I put an NGL on my Instagram and it took me I was really taken aback because one of the questions were, I was in camp with you and you used to lie a lot. And, you know, and I was like, you know what? I have so many people in my life that think I'm a liar. And that's fine. All those people, they were a part of my journey. And I'm so sorry that I hurt them in so many ways. I can admit to that. And I know that I was not right to do that. And I know that I was also hurting. And it doesn't excuse me hurting them. And at the same time, I just wish someone held me and said, you're okay, you're safe, you can say the truth. It doesn't matter what the truth is, even if it hurts, because lying hurts more. So, yeah.
Yeah, poor little Chanie. I feel so bad for her.
And now maybe I do feel bad for me in a way, for little me. And now I just like love little me. I just want to love little me. I just want to hug little me
Yeah,
at all times. And I have 2 sons now, and I
yeah.
just hug them and love them. And I just hold them. And all I want to do is tell them that they're loved. And I'm not perfect. I do have my moments. I scream and yell at them and lose my temper. And that's part of the journey of healing. And at the end of the day, I really, really am healing little me by healing my little kids, my little yummy little boys. Yeah.
Right. So brave of you to look at your lying the way you look at it. It really is. It takes a lot of strength because, first of all, you were a child. That was a coping mechanism. And as an adult, you changed, you stopped. So, you know, I just want to say kudos to you.
Thank you. It took a lot of work.
But also,
And
I appreciate yeah, I appreciate the bravery in that. It's so hard to look at our
I guess I'm going to use this platform
wrongdoings.
to apologize if anyone is watching this. I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry for hurting you. I know a lot of people are hurt from my past. From my pain, I hurt other people, and I'm really sorry. And I hope you can forgive me. And if you are that person and you want to reach out, I would be more than happy to talk to you and have that closure for you if you feel that. I'm not thinking of anyone in particular. I have a lot of yous that I'm talking about. So yeah,
That's so brave of you. I do have a question. You mentioned you lied. Like, what kinds of things would you lie about? Was it
little
just
lies, big
random
lies,
things, or
everything. Like I wish I was brave enough to be real and say I'm hurting. I do have a pain that's killing me inside and no one sees me for me. But yeah, I can say that now as a 26-year-old and I feel very strong saying that and I'm not embarrassed to say that at all.
wow, I get it. It was you really wanted people to be worried about you and do something to help you,
Yeah.
but you couldn't say what it really
Yeah.
was.
I mean, I wanted to protect my family for whatever reason. I thought I had this perfect family. I wanted to. My brother is married with kids. Like, I wanted to protect his wife and kids. And I have so much love for my nieces. And my sister in law, it's not her fault. Even though she protects her husband, I totally understand that. And at the end of the day, people are going to know who my brother is when this comes out and people are going to know what the story is. And if my sister-in-law chooses to stay with him, kudos to her because I'm sure he's a changed man. And if not, whatever, it's up to them to work it out. And with that said, I'm not protecting anyone anymore besides myself and my husband and my kids, and that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
I support that 100%.
Thank you. Sorry for the
Um,
intensity, Yeti.
no, this is
Yeah.
intense, you know? It's just what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned your cleaning lady saw she didn't do anything. You mentioned that you did speak up. Who did you speak up to, and what do you wish they had done?
So it's funny because I posted on my Instagram about it a little bit about my brothers. I didn't write that it's my brother straight out. I think it's the first time I'm publicly saying it's my brother. Um, and with that said, people from my past in Brazil reached out and said, "You told me that, but you were lying at the time, so we didn't know if it was true or not." And in hindsight, I totally understand. If I were in their position, I would also say what's true, what's not true. Um, but the first time I ever spoke up and someone believed me was in camp when I was 13 years old. I was in camp in California, and my brother at the time was living in California, and I stayed in his house the day before going to camp. And it was just very triggering for me, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. So I told the camp counselor on the last day right before going home because I would have to stay in his house the day before going to back to Brazil, and I just couldn't. So I told my camp counselor, and that spiraled out of control. My mother didn't really do much. She just put me in therapy and made my brother call me and say sorry, and that was it. Which is so fucked up in hindsight. But yeah.
Wow. Did you, when he said sorry, did you feel anything?
I knew it was a forced phone call. I remember exactly where I was in my bedroom in Brazil. Like, I remember this like yesterday. And like my mom, like, he called my mother and like she transferred the call. Your brother wants to speak to you. Like, um, I'm transferring the call. So yeah, it was pretty like very like casual, like an office meeting almost.
Well, I'm very happy that your counselor did something,
Yeah, she's
even
great. And I have
though,
so much gratefulness for her. And I know that it was painful for her to do that. And we don't really talk
yeah,
that much anymore, but I have a lot of love for her. And if she watches this, thank you. She knows who she is.
yeah, yeah. So, what do you wish your mother had done? I'm asking so that other parents could know what to do when their child tells them something like this.
I believe she has to believe me right away, not question it, because my mother
Believe,
questioned
right?
me at first. Are you sure? Like what happened? Wanting to know details, and like it's okay. I would love to give details, but first believe me. First, I'm your child. Believe me, and then we can discuss everything else. And don't just shove me in therapy. Show me love. Show me that you care. Don't just stick me into Basiakovs. Don't just say you're not normal because you don't want to be religious anymore. I mean, I started drinking at 15. I smoked weed. I happens to be this is a big accomplishment for me. I stopped smoking weed. And like for some people are like, why'd you stop smoking weed? It's just weed. Like I smoked weed for 12 years. I'm finally clear headed. And it served me until it didn't. And I'm done. And I feel like a big part of my life is complete in that way. And I feel so grateful for that. And at the same time, like, I wish that she saw that I was 15 and drinking and hanging out with all these boys. The amount of boys that I was like seeing just for attention because I thought that that's what men do and that's what a relationship is. And I never had a healthy relationship to see. And the one relationship that I did actually have in my life, it's amazing. They're amazing. I'm so grateful for them. My friend's parents from Brazil, they took me in as their own. I actually just last night, that's why we couldn't record it last night, had a wedding from their family. And I just saw them and she introduced me as everyone as her fourth daughter. And it was so healing to like just be there and just be happy and be with family that felt like family, even though they're not my bloodline. And it was just really nice to be with that. So basically, what I would suggest parents, if someone comes up to you and says that, is I love you for who you are. I believe you, and I'm here for you, with your pain, with your sorrows, and yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned actually that you did weed for 12 years. I do think it could help a lot. What were other things you used to help you cope and heal?
Yeah. I went to all kinds of therapy. Talk therapy is great until it's not. I
It's a
I
good
did
start.
talk therapy since I'm yeah, I mean I did talk therapy. My mom stuck us in talk therapy since I'm like 1 years old. I used to paint and this like therapist was like analyzing my paintings. Happens to be one therapist I'm never gonna forget. At the time when my brother was hurting me, um, I used to paint in her office and then take black and paint over my beautiful painting. And she would say, "What are you hiding?" And in hindsight, I know exactly what I was hiding. But then I was like, nothing. I'm not hiding anything. And she literally used to ask me every time, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? So it's pretty interesting that if you just take a child's art and really look into it, you might just find something.
That is
Um,
fascinating.
yeah, it was pretty crazy. And I'm never going to forget that, actually.
Wow.
And I think my mom still has one of those paintings. I have no idea. Yeah, and honestly, what helped me the most, which I discovered very recent, which is what led me to going clean off weed, is breath work. I've done all kinds of drugs, and breath work is the best drug out there, and it's a sober drug. And it's crazy the power of breathing. Like I 1,000 out of 100 like recommend. Like it's so amazing how you can just breathe out your trauma and like it sounds stupid. I used to see people doing this and I would just make fun of them. Like, why are you crying and screaming about when you're breathing? Like it's so crazy. Like it's not anything, but it's really, really healing and it's really amazing how breathwork is a very powerful tool, and that's what really helped me
That's
succeed,
so
I guess, in the
cool.
last very recent.
Now I feel like I have to try it. I've seen it also, and it feels a little bit like heebie-jeebie to me.
I'm telling you, I was on your page. I'm telling you, I used to make fun of these people. Why are you crying and screaming? You're just breathing. I felt like I'm going to send you a picture of how I looked after. I felt like a new person. I came back like a new person. It was amazing. It was
Wow,
amazing.
that's amazing. I have one more
Yeah.
question about the abuse that I wanted to ask earlier. What made it stop?
He moved. He moved out of Brazil and he went to live in LA. And I became older and I started using my voice more, I guess.
Interesting.
But ultimately, he moved. That's what really happened. I don't know what would have happened. I was still in Brazil. And the abuse did happen in like when we used to go to visit him in LA. It happened in LA also.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow. I want to say a note to
yeah.
parents also, and this is not to you because we're not talking about your brother. We're talking about your experience. But a lot of times when children abuse other children sexually, they are being abused or they have been abused. So it's something for,
And
yeah,
I don't disagree that maybe my brother was touched by somebody or raped or whatnot. And with that said,
totally. It
ew, I'm
doesn't
your
make it
sister.
okay, but just parents should know that if this does come up, they need to get help for
Yes.
that, for the abuser also. Yeah.
A hundred
Yeah.
percent. And by the way, no help was given to him. Like that's why, like, I pray and hope that my nieces
I
are safe,
really,
and
really
that's it.
hope that it was maybe a thing that he did in his teenage years. I'm skeptical, but I really do hope.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. It's not my business anymore. I don't. Like I said, I only have to worry about me, my
Amazing.
husband, and my kids, and that's
Amazing.
it.
What message do you want to leave
Yeah,
with other survivors who might be listening?
it wasn't your fault. You're not broken. You are just trying to survive. And I'm talking to myself and little me. You're just trying to live in this big, crazy world. And for whatever reason, I'm going to sound like a Rebbitzin right now. For whatever reason, this is your tikkun in this world. And for whatever reason, Hashem gave you these challenges so you can grow and get stronger. And I'm so sorry. And you're going to grow from this.
Thank you.
And I feel so strong saying that. And I hope that if anyone watches this and is still going through it or went through it and never spoke up, and you just want to speak up to somebody, I'm not a therapist, but I'm willing to listen. And I don't know if you're gonna like put my Instagram name or whatever, but my Instagram name is just my name, Chanie Janashvili. When I posted my post about my brother, a lot of people reached out, like over 100 messages. To me, my husband got messages. Hey, your wife's post was was really amazing, and just so you know, I'm going through this also.
Yeah, right away when I
And
saw it also, I was like,
yeah,
obviously survivors have like a connection with other survivors, but I was like, that is so freaking brave. And you deserve.
thank you. And I feel like we have to be brave. Like you're brave for making this your page and your podcast, and there is no more hiding. Like it's 2025, no more hiding. Enough. It's Mashiach times, and with Mashiach
Amen.
comes the truth. Enough. Enough.
Amen. One more
Yes.
question.
Yes.
If you could
Yes.
tell our listeners one thing about preventing child abuse with their kids, what would it be?
Um, Abuse thrives with secrecy. So if you stay quiet and if you don't say anything to anyone, that's how it's going to keep going, like we said in the beginning of this. And prevention starts with breaking both. So don't wait until it happens to care, and don't wait until, you know, oh, so and so told you this, and now you're going to wait to see if it actually happened. If you see anything, if you see something, say something. That's it, basically. And that's it. And if you say something and it's not accurate, at least you said something, and that's it. And you can go to
Exactly.
sleep peaceful at
Totally.
night,
Is there
and that's
anything
it.
else you want to say?
Thank you for giving me this platform, and I really, really hope that it didn't come. I'm not coming here to say it as a sob story. I'm here to say it as a survival and a thriving story. Not I'm not in any way complete in my healing. Everyone can heal up until the day they die. And there are days where I just want to curl up in bed and cry. And there are days where I feel very strong. And that's life. Even if you weren't sexually abused, even if you stubbed your toe and you're sad about it, like, it is what it is. It's
Amazing.
life. It's a
Yeah.
crazy life that
And
we
you're
live
doing a
in.
really good job. Thank you so much for coming on here. Thanks for your bravery
Thank you.
on behalf of all survivors.
Thank you, Yuki.
Thanks, Chanie. We'll be in touch. Thank you for joining me on Silent No More. If today's conversation moved you, taught you something new, or gave you a moment to reflect, I hope you'll share it with someone else. Together we could create a world that listens to survivors, protects children, and breaks the silence around abuse. If you or someone you know is a survivor and needs support, you're not alone. You can find resources in the episode description, including national hotlines and healing organizations. To stay connected, follow along on Instagram at Better Safe Than Silent, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Until next time, stay informed, stay compassionate, and never be afraid to speak.